one of the most egregious things for me about the film was the fact that they had most of Trinity's scenes just be her in a coffee shop getting coffee. That's so unfucking cool.
Yeah, she did fuck all.
Although we've just had a conversation about being a nice little loner in a coffee shop, it's actually quite comfortable.
Yeah.
The fact that it's, one of the most badass women in the history of film is reduced to being a MILF in a coffee shop.
Could they have not?
Kind of a bit of a fucking ruiner, isn't it? Hello and welcome to Two Reels Podcast. I am your host Liam Reedy. Today I am with Billy Ashworth and we are finally getting round to talking about The Matrix Resurrections. Before we do that, just want to say thank you to everyone who's given us a little listen over the past few months, as we've just reached 2,000 unique downloads. So thank you everyone for giving us a listen. Also, if you want to check out our merchandise store that recently opened, where you can get t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, mugs and more, head on over to shop2reels.com. And that being said, let's get into this week's episode.
Here we are talking about The Matrix again for the last time, I think. At least for a while.
That. You're just like, we're talking about The Matrix for the last time.
Yeah. And I love The Matrix, man. I fucking love it.
Well, we did a Matrix podcast, which if you haven't listened to it, you should just check out our history on whatever you're listening to the podcast on. But
it's a good one. That was a good one.
That was a great one.
We were talking about
one of my favourites.
The Matrix.
One of the most downloaded ones that we've had. So.
Oh, awesome! In its heyday, The Matrix in its heyday, sadly.
But with this sequel, which we were overly hyped for, and this is a second time of recording. So we tried to do something a little bit different.
Yeah.
A, because we just wanted a pint. And B, just because we thought it would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it was pretty cool.
I think it is cool. I think we should definitely try and do it again. I think it was like a little bit too busy. We were in the pub basically, and we thought, and we were thirsty, and we got lazy.
It was really cool until the point where we set up and we were ready to go, and we were really hyped. And as soon as we started, they called last orders. I was like, that's just timing.
We got a bit comfortable, and had a few too many drinks. But
so we brought it back.
Sure.
We brought it back to the studio. So the Matrix Resurrections. I mean, I'm gonna try my best to go through the plot.
Yeah,
like we do for the cinema. The new releases, we do go through the plot.
What is the plot? Sorry, you were just saying though. You were just saying, watching it for a second time
is hard. It really is hard, because when you're so disappointed, how do you get yourself so hyped up for?
I couldn't be fucked to go and see it again, man. I fell asleep. We both fell asleep.
Honestly, the thought of watching it for a third time, I think I'd have to be under, CIA interrogation.
Yeah.
They were like, we're going to waterboard you, or you can watch The Matrix 4, drown me.
Yeah.
Just do it.
And I've been watching The Matrix, the original one, and Reloaded and Revolutions, at least once a year since they came out.
Minimum.
Which is fucking over 20 fucking years, and it's I couldn't bear to watch Resurrections again, and that's just crazy, man. That just says so much about it. It's unfortunately there were some cool moments, don't get me wrong, but unfortunately it was just a massive letdown, a massive flop in my eyes. When you kind of it's like any movie that you watch, and you sort of think this is really good because there's a lot thrown at you. Do you know what I mean? It's there's a lot of things happening and you think, oh, this is really cool. This is really exciting. And then it's only until you finish watching it, and then you sort of like the week after you reflect on it, and you're like, actually, no, yeah, it was shit.
A similar thing happened to me with the X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yeah,
I mean, when it came out, I was like 17 or 18 or something. But when I was in the cinema, I do distinctly remember turning to my friends, all around the similar age, like 16 or so, maybe. Yeah, about 16, 17.
yeah,
And just being like, wasn't that cool?
yeah.
And the answer to the question I'm looking for is no.
No.
So
X-Men Origins, the first one.
yeah, it's the Wolverine.
There's only one, isn't there?
Yeah,
Sorry,
I know.
what
Yeah,
am I
yeah.
about? I'm thinking. Oh, yeah, I'm thinking the one where he's in Japan. No, the first one. Did you see the leak?
Which
It
one?
got leaked. The Wolverine, the first one. It got X-Men Origins Wolverine. It got leaked online.
Did it?
Yeah,
I don't remember.
I can't believe you didn't know. You didn't know. It got leaked right before it came out. And it hadn't been completed, so none of the CGI had been done. I remember I was at my cousin's.
Mate, honestly, none of the CGI had been done in the theatrical release anyway.
Literally.
Like
Wasn't much
Wolverine's,
different,
like
yeah.
Wolverine's claws.
Yeah,
They're like way
terrible.
too.
Just look
Yeah,
cartoony.
yeah.
Yeah.
He says in a film based on cartoons. and
Yeah.
comics.
Yeah.
Anyway,
come
yeah.
on, where's the realism, man?
But I remember it was because I think in the same year or the year after, I went to see Inglourious Bastards, which obviously, great film.
Yeah.
But
One of my favourites.
So I distinctly remember these three movies doing the exact same thing, but after X-Men Origins Wolverine, being a bit like, am I just like, am I out of touch, or is it like because I was just like the film, I enjoyed it at the time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Did my friends do the same, or am I just like fanboying? So it was this one. So Wolverine, X-Men Origins Wolverine, Inglourious Bastards, and District 9 all came out within like 12 months. So like 2 summers. Or whichever, I think.
Yeah.
And I had to just like kind of check myself, even as like an 18, 19-year-old.
Yeah.
Studying film. I was a little bit like, I enjoyed that, but is it good? Is it good?
Yeah.
And then,
sometimes they don't have to be good.
no, Wolverine wasn't, and the other two really were. So I was just like, I feel like obviously my comic book fan kind of nerdiness came through in terms of just watching Wolverine and being like, as soon as I leave the cinema, I was like, oh, I really enjoyed that. Only for 2 weeks later, be like, I think that's probably like one of the worst films I've seen.
Yeah.
Well, how does that happen?
Yeah.
And then with the other two, I was like, I'm just checking, like, because District 9 and Inglourious Bastards, I don't want them to 2 weeks later me be like, I didn't really like that, because that would have been heartbreaking, I reckon, because they're both really good movies.
Yeah.
But with this, I mean, from 3 minutes in, I was like, I'm definitely going to hate this film.
Yeah, I mean, that opening scene, like the whole kind of recreation of, the opening scene from the first movie, but it's just like, it falls so short.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not even, there's nothing good about it. It's like, it's so, like, far out of the league of the first movie. It's insane. Like, even the actress that's playing, supposed to be Trinity or whatever, spoiler alert, but like just like super slow. Like, she's running at one point, she's like sprinting and she's so slow, and it's just like, what am I watching?
It does feel like a fan film remake.
Yeah,
straight off the bat. I mean, they've got a bit of a tone. Where Bugs Bunny cringe is looking at faux Trinity through the wall.
Yeah,
I'm like, the set looks exactly the same, and where Morpheus, Agent Smith in the modal, they pull up in the same car, and they're at the heart of the city hotel, and when that was happening, I was like, I was like, okay, you've nailed the aesthetic, but you're nowhere near like
You've missed the mark. So like the performances, I was like, okay, I was thinking if you're recreating this scene, which is what I'm witnessing right now, like it needs to be like, not better, but like at least as good in its own way, like in its own special kind of original way, where it's just like a complete recreation. And I know it's like a modal or whatever, and it's just like an endless loop and blah blah blah, but like when you're watching it, you're like, fucking hell, man, this like sucks. Like this isn't as good as the original. So you should have just left it alone, because it's so bad. Like, but then it kind of captured me again when Bugs is like kind of watching, like observing, and it's like, this is an important moment. And I thought, oh cool, she's like, you know, something's happening. She's like, something happens here that's important. And I thought, okay, cool. Like they're doing, because I had a theory that they were doing something to do with time travel, whatever. I thought, oh shit, like this is really exciting. Like
maybe they'll go somewhere different.
Go somewhere with it, you know, like, but just, I don't know. It was just messy. And then like Morpheus is an agent, and
it was that moment. I mean, it's so early on in the movie, that, you know, it didn't even really have time to get going before it ran into like real trouble. The reason why I was very much like, this is in trouble a few minutes in, is because you know, false Morpheus and Bugs Bunny cringe, basically they go into like a dialogue where they're just spouting exposition.
I was about to say, I didn't know what the fuck they were talking about, to be
and
honest.
honestly,
I couldn't even understand
the exposition is, and I know this is like, we're talking about the Matrix here, it is the original and Reloaded and you know, Revolution. They're all films that sometimes you do have to watch a couple of times to get your head around.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And also some of it is quite waffly, even for the classics that they are.
Yeah.
Some of the dialogue in the originals are quite waffly, but this was taking it up to the next level.
Yeah.
So much so that I'm like, you haven't done anything to earn the fact that you're going off on this massive dialogue splooge of exposition. You're only 2-3 minutes into your movie, and you're not doing it. They are basically doing a tell me, don't show me, you know, with their movie. And I'm like, we're 3 minutes in, and you couldn't even do this explaining of the story with actions instead of, you know, empty words.
Yeah.
It was a little bit like they'd set up the fact that they're in this old version of the Matrix, or like a test of the Matrix, or it's called a modal. They call it a modal.
But why is Morpheus a fucking Asian? I can't even remember, dude. I can't remember. Like,
I don't think that's even really explained. It's
purely for the audience to subvert expectation, to like surprise. It's for the trailer.
Yeah.
It's to like, I don't know. It's like, oh, Morpheus is a fucking. I don't think I even realized it was Morpheus in the trailer.
I mean,
it wasn't. It was just a quick shot in the trailer.
I mean, it was pretty much set up with the way that he was dressing and the. Well, I mean, even the way he dressed is like a parody of Morpheus. You know, like later on in the movie.
Yeah.
Not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but later on in the movie, he's like, "Oh, I'm wearing similar clothes to the Morpheus you knew," and I'm like, "No, that was just kind of stylistic. This is like you've just dialed up the saturation. You've gone like, oh, Morpheus wore like purple and black and, you know, yellow and green and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, but then you've taken it to the next level where it's like you're taking the piss. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I quite like. Do you know what? I don't. He wasn't even the like.
oh no,
the
no, he's
worst
not.
Thing about the
No,
movie. I actually thought he was really charismatic. Like,
oh yeah,
was,
like the actor.
He was great, but like, I don't see why they couldn't have just got Lawrence Fishburne back.
Yeah.
If he's just a computer program after all, and it's like,
Yeah, it's a computer program based off Morpheus.
yeah,
That's what I got anyway. I mean, we talk about it a lot on the podcast, and I'm sure we sound a bit like broken records at this point. But if you have to try and work out what's going on, and you have to try and make up some headcanon,
yeah,
then basically your movie has failed at its task of
yeah,
telling a coherent story. You know?
yeah. I just think it's a shame because the trailer was so great. Like, the marketing.
It was
awesome.
It was like getting you invested.
Yeah, they always do it so well, don't they? Those goddamn trailers, man.
So in terms of the plot, it's after this kind of initial period, we obviously get to re-meet Neo, who is a video game programmer.
That was weird.
Very weird.
The opening scene with Neo, very weird, out of place, like just odd. Like, he's a fucking like famous game designer who's just fucking doesn't give a shit, and you know, we find him in his office. I don't know, it's just weird. He's surrounded by these fucking like annoying characters, and I just didn't. Yeah.
It felt so un-Matrix.
Yeah.
You know.
And I like you know, I like going for a different take on things, you know, and not just kind of and trying to do something new, but like just weird. Yeah. I mean, why was he?
I mean, their reasoning to having him be a video game designer is to try and fake out the fact that the experiences of Neo from the previous movies aren't real. They're trying to convince him that those were just you making a video game.
Yeah.
But also they didn't even, you know, like, why does the video game look real?
Yeah, that is fucking shots from the movie. It's like
if someone said, like, I know it's going way off, but like if someone was trying to describe a video game, right, and they're showing me what the video game looks like, and I see that it looks real, I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm convinced. I'm going to be like, no, this is a film, or this actually happened.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
I suppose they were going for the whole photorealistic, like, technology has advanced, you know, to the point where you can't even fucking tell, and that's like on its way there, blah 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 blah. Like, when Trinity's like, to skip ahead, but when Trinity's like, you know who she reminds me of? Me. It's like, well, no shit. Like, she looks like exactly like she is you. She is you. Like,
it's so funny because it's like it's something that we've brought up, not to say it again, but something we brought up, I personally have brought up in the podcast before, is that Hollywood doesn't know how video games work. Like, Hollywood is just like convinced that they're convinced that they know how video games work, even though they're just like completely way off the mark. And this actually just proves my point.
Yeah.
Like, as if Ready Player One and things like that were just kind of, I felt they were like kind of condescending to people who play and make video games.
Yeah, it's that whole thing where it's like it's got to be for everyone, and it's just like, yeah, okay, cool, but like
a bit of that.
People aren't that fucking stupid.
It also happens in like one of my favorite films ever, which is Tron Legacy, the sequel.
Love that film. Yeah. We got to do Tron.
Tron Legacy also doesn't know. Here's the thing: I know they're trying to make it out like, oh, inside a computer, there's actually like these living computer programs.
Yeah.
I can suspend my disbelief. In the second one, it's like they are playing a game, but they also don't know how video games work at the same time. So it's just it's a fantasy film, and I actually love it because it's just like the style is great.
Yeah.
You know, the story of like son and father is kind of really good.
Great.
But also at the same time,
good actors as well.
Yeah, great. Jeff Bridges is amazing.
Amazing as well.
Daft Punk, and
You love the score.
I
You love the score. So do I. Fucking.
I listen to it permanently in my car.
Amazing. So epic.
But yeah, more so with Ready Player One, am I like the people who write Hollywood films don't know how video games work. Maybe just start asking video game designers some basic questions.
Yeah.
And this was just the most egregious, because it's like, at no point was I convinced that he makes video games. If I was like convinced that he's like a programmer, even though he is a programmer, because in the first one you can tell, because he's like able to write code, and he's like making a program for that guy in the first one, and he's like, this is what you need, this is what I've got, you know, like, it's all about like trying to convince people that these characters are real.
Yeah.
Whereas in this one, it's just like, the direction is just awful, and like the writing is just like nonsensical from that point of view.
Fucking boardroom scene when like, Tom, we gotta make a new Matrix. We gotta make a new Matrix game, and you know it's like they're like self-aware, and they're like, and it just completely takes you out of the movie. And do you know what I mean? It just like, you're like, I didn't come here for this. I didn't come here for the whole fucking like, I was gonna get made. I don't know. It's just too much of it's just, I know it's art and stuff, and it's like, but when you start hearing the voice of, not all the time, like there is it's so hard. There is a time and place. Like it just gets too preachy, I think, at some points. And then that whole fucking boardroom scene when like these bunch of assholes are just like talking about like, you've got all these different characters and they all fit like a certain fucking like mold. It's just like, you've got the office English guy, and you know, then you've got like the funny guy, and they're just throwing in lines here and there, and it's just like, what is this scene I'm watching? Like, what happened?
Well, before we get to that, I've got something to say about that as well. But before we get to that, the first meeting with the head of the company, who turns out to be Agent Smith.
Yeah,
like,
Hugo Weaving's not even in the fucking movie.
Every single turn, it's just so cringy. Like the initial meeting where you meet this guy, and you can just tell it is supposed to be Agent Smith before they reveal it's Agent Smith.
Yeah.
Why does Agent Smith why is Agent Smith self-referential to Warner Brothers Studios? Why does he even mention, like, before this we've got a mention of Bugs Bunny, and then we've got a mention of Warner Brothers, and it's like, it's so meta. And then the Merovingian later on references like how he's going to get a spin-off, and I'm just like, what have you done?
I didn't understand a word he said.
Racist.
Yeah, I'm sorry about
no, he was like, just yelling the whole time.
Yeah, he was like inaudible. I could not understand a word, and it's like such a great character, you know, from the original.
They turned him into like a
joke. Yeah,
well, they turned everyone into a joke, didn't they? Really, but
like, he wasn't the most serious character in the original.
No.
Fuck me, he was dressed like something out of fucking. Oh God, like, I don't know, Sesame Street or something.
Yeah.
Something ridiculous.
He looked like the Merovingian, but like he'd been living with like Grouch, you know, like with Grover or something for the last 12 years. But
Jesus Christ. Honestly,
the first meeting with No Socks Agent Smith, he was just.
Oh, was he wearing loafers with no socks?
Yeah.
What a prick.
Here's the thing,
Guys, stop doing that.
Here's the thing. This is not a positive for the film, because there are none to take. But
we are slating it. We've had a few drinks.
This was going to be bad. Whatever. After we'd seen it.
Yeah.
But I can tell the fact that they've gone for this look for Agent Smith, or the agents, even though the other agents are how they were, where the agents are like, you know, like the agents from the original movies. They looked like The corporate people
Yeah.
of the 90s. Shirt and tie, sunglasses, very straight-laced.
Yeah.
But the corporate people of these days, of like billion-dollar tech companies, look like how this guy looks.
Yeah.
They're like Southern Californian,
Yeah.
wearing just like smart cash, you know, like. But they run corporations that are like billions of dollars,
Smoking cigarettes in
Yeah.
the office.
and I'm like, I understand the look you were going for, but I didn't want you to recast Smith.
No.
I didn't want you to basically make the one of the two main antagonists for this film. I didn't want you to make one of them fucking Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't. No one asked for you to make what's his name? Is it Jack Dorsey or whatever his name is? The fucking guy who runs Twitter for now.
Oh, fucking.
No one asked you to make him a fucking Silicon Valley hippie. Who, do you know what I mean?
I
Like,
don't even hate the guy that played Smith.
No.
I think he's.
I just hated the idea.
Yeah, I just think like, yeah, it's a shame because I think I read something like Hugo Weaving, like there was like scheduled conflict.
Oh, thank fuck there was. Thank fuck there was.
Yeah, but
I didn't want him in this train wreck of a film.
Yeah, and like probably like watching it back, Lawrence Fishburne probably thought, actually, I've dodged a bullet.
Actually, nah.
I've dodged a bullet there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go make John Wick 5.
Did you get it? That was a good.
I'll dodge a bullet there.
Come on, dude.
That joke.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Hugo Weaving. Nah. Yeah, imagine if he was in it, but no. He would have brought more to it for sure.
Oh, of course.
But like, there's only so much that he.
Do you know what would have been okay is, well, actually, I don't know. I don't think anything could kind of get this off the ground. But the if they'd had this, you know, suave as fuck, Agent Smith, but then like later on he like morphed into Hugo Weaving.
Yeah, why not?
When he reveals himself to be Agent Smith, he like remembers.
Yeah.
And he's just like, does that thing where agents turn from the other
Yeah.
person. Do you know what? I would have been like
Neo was an old man.
Yeah, I would have been like, here we go.
Yeah.
But no, they
Yeah.
didn't even.
Neo was
do
like
that.
an old man. They disguised him as like a different person, right?
Yeah.
Um.
So that would have made sense.
Yeah. So that could have worked really well. Speaking of the agents, going back to the agents, like the look of them, I thought they looked terrible.
They
Who
did,
did they
but-
fucking find? Like,
Yeah.
who was that guy at the start? Like, where he looks like a fucking, like, someone that's gone to Comic-Con dressed as a fucking agent.
Pretty
Like,
much.
I know the agents weren't like, I don't know, like, at least in the first one they were really good, and then they sort of became like, then they just used, I think, like stuntmen in the sequels because they were like upgraded or whatever. They're supposed to be like bigger and stronger, but like, they looked like they were a joke, man. The agents, they just had that stupid look on their face. Like, who cast them? I don't know. Like,
They just look so unmenacing.
yeah, it was just a complete impression of an agent. There was just nothing like scary about it. And what's that fucking scene at the start when she gets caught? Like, going back to the first scene with
Oh
Bugs.
my god.
They're like shooting machine guns at her, and she's on like just a fucking like straight
Narrow walkway.
narrow walkway, and it's like, how is she not getting hit anyway?
How is she not dead? The whole point of the agents is that they don't really miss. Or if they do, you just
run from an agent. They completely
you just escape with your life. You
Yeah.
just about escape. But with
Yeah.
this, it's just like they're just like an inconvenience.
Yeah.
Like any other fucking gun fodder from any other
Yeah.
action film.
She just like sees them, and she's like, hey, and
Oh my god, that's
it's
so
like
cringy.
the fear that you had, like,
Yeah.
from the opening scene in the first one. It's like, you know, even in the sequels, it's like, fucking run. You run.
Yeah.
Like, that's when you see an agent, you know, Cypher, like, you do what we do. Run your ass off. And it's just like,
With this one, she
Nah.
just does a bit of like
some stupid, like,
she does some
Quick.
like
and then
Big Bang Theory fucking
oh,
comedy.
God, yeah.
quote
And
unquote.
like jumps on him, like on his head or something. It's just, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, from that is it. It is from scene one that
Yeah.
it was like.
I mean, what else? Like, it did it. It was really cool. Like, okay, good things, cool things about the movie. I mean, really cool seeing Neo and Trinity again. Like, amazing. I thought it was really, really cool, like thrilling, dramatic when Neo wakes up and like him and Trinity are in their own private fucking tower, and you're thinking, what the fuck is going on? You know, that was really cool. Like,
one of the best shots of the film is when you see them piece together Neo and Trinity again. You know, when they're like, because obviously
when they're rebuilding, it's terrifying, man.
I'm just like,
awful.
The machines know how to like reincarnate you.
Yeah, it's just like. Yeah, that is, and you see like Neo's chest open and shit. That was,
and like he's like that bit where he's just like got one eye, and they're just like operating on him and putting him in the fucking goo.
Is he like
trying to get and I'm just like, awful. That was one of the coolest things because it was more like the original movies.
Yeah, I don't know, man. They just missed the boat, and they like, what could they have done? There must have been something that they could have done, like story wise. Yeah, amazing to see like Carrie-Anne Moss like looking so badass as Trinity again. Like finally when she fucking like, you know, became Trinity. Although she fucked her husband and kids off. Like,
I mean, they don't really exist.
So. Yeah, but did she know that?
Yeah,
she didn't know that
in the end.
She only knows that like after she goes.
Honestly, it's quite embarrassing how like
she's like, get your fucking my name is.
It's quite embarrassing, like how obvious that was, though.
Yeah.
Especially in the to get right to the end, but we'll come back. But to get right to the end, we're gonna jump around like.
Yeah, we're jumping around, guys. We're jumping around.
Podcast will be a mess. Yeah. But like the final before the final fight, before the kind of last act, I guess, the fact that they brought Trinity's family into it, would just be like, oh, they're not real. Because it's like, why would they be there? Look what they walked into. They walked into like a fucking coffee shop, simulate.
Yeah, that annoyed me as well. That set piece. It's just like, why is it set there?
But the fact that they got brought into the shop, into the dialogue, I'd be like, oh, okay, you don't exist. Because if you were really brought into that and you are human, you'd be like, I'm so scared, like, what's going on? But like two kids and a dad just like walked into this, there's just cops and guns. Like, why would they be like okay with this? They'd be like panicking. They'd be like, what the fuck is going on? Like, why are you at this coffee shop so late? And it's like, you'd see this thing and the fact that they're acting like machines, I'd be like, oh, they're not real. It's quite embarrassing that it lasted this long.
When you put it like that, I completely forgot about that moment.
But with with them being taken out of the Matrix for the second time, Neo is brought to the new Zion, which is just called Io. Yeah. Why did they change it?
Why didn't they just leave Zion as it was?
I know you have to show that there's been a passage of time. Because there's been like, what, 100 years or something?
60 years. That's another 60. Cool. That's another cool concept. I thought really cool. Like, fucking hell, it's been like
60 years.
60 years.
But with that, why wasn't it just Zion, but 60 years later?
Yeah, just keep it as Zion.
Honestly, if you just said that this is Zion, this is what it looks like now, everyone would have been like, oh, okay, it's been 60 years, quite a long time.
Yeah.
They've got that like LED sky, and they've got those futuristic gates where they fly through it and they don't get, it's basically a disguise, like Wakanda basically. And I was just like, when I was watching the movie, I was like, oh, Zion looks different, but like that's cool.
Yeah.
They're like, no Zion's dead. Yeah. Like it's Io now. It's like, oh, so it's symbolism about like killing the past and making a new future. I wonder where I've heard that shit before.
Yeah.
Oh, The Last Jedi. Yeah. It was shit then. And it's shit
I know.
Like...
I know. Just keep it as Zion, like.
It's like this whole idea of like destroying the past to be something new, is just like, it's just actually like really cringe because you're actually nothing without what's happened prior. Like especially with actually I'm not even going to get into it. With Zion, it's just like it was the last city, well established that it was the last city of humans.
Yeah.
Why would there have been another one? They said they've been like building Zion over like 100 years and it still looks like shit.
Yeah.
And then there's this place called Io that they built, years and years after Zion fell, like, and it looks even better.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. And Niobe's a bitch.
Always is. Always was.
She was alright.
It was alright.
She was alright.
I probably just hate Jada Pinkett Smith.
Yeah. She was cool, man. Like, I played as her
in the game.
Into the Matrix.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Great game.
Awesome game. So cool. Better than the Matrix.
Honestly, I didn't even think it was her in prosthetics.
No, like, what happened to Niobe? And she's like, I don't believe in the one. I never did. It's like, well, you got proved wrong.
Yeah, twice.
So you should believe in it.
Twice, because I'm back.
Why are you still a bitch? Like, honestly, you haven't seen Neo. You thought Neo was dead. He saved you.
Yeah, and then he came back.
Saved your life.
And then he came back 60 years later, and you're just like
looking fresh.
Yeah, and you're just like, I will never believe. It's just like,
yeah, and you're like, fuck you. You're getting locked up. Like, what?
Oh, mate,
No.
honestly, man,
You
like,
grumpy old bitch. It's time to die.
it's just so nonsensical, her character, because it's like,
Sorry.
why is she's still alive, right? And if you were look, if this had happened to you, like the savior of humanity, who you didn't believe was the savior of humanity, that's fine.
Yeah.
Did save humanity, from a certain point of view. Yes, there was a
certain point of view.
and then things ensued that things got worse over time, but he still saved them, and you're like, oh, he's dead. For 60 years he was dead, and then he came back still looking about 10 to 15 years older than he did, and you're like, I don't believe.
Yeah,
that's just you being a prick.
Yeah,
that's not. It's not got anything to do with him.
That shot of her in Revolutions, where she's like, it's a great shot. It's like she's like teary eyed.
I'm pretty sure she ends up believing in the one, though, doesn't she?
Neo. She's like Neo or something. She's like all teary eyed.
Yeah,
I don't know if he's just like
at the end when the machines drop or they stop, don't they?
Yeah,
and she's just like, she's convinced that he has done something to help them, to save them.
Yeah.
And then for them to be like, 60 years later, she's just like so fucking resentful to him.
Yeah, she's
like,
just
what?
full of resentment. Yeah, for sure. Like, just like, I don't know, man.
They literally
you're right though, it should have been Zion.
They took everything that happened at the end. Again, this happens so fucking much. Honestly, I think this is it. Like, I feel like before this film came out, we actually did say about like, this is it. Like, for nostalgia sequels, if this is shit, like, then the scales are tipped in one direction too far.
I think it was the last one, wasn't it? What else is there? Like,
I mean, here's the thing: Ghostbusters Afterlife was great.
I need to see that.
But that's not enough to be like, oh, look, the scales on the other side are, well, the shit movies we had were Matrix, 3 Star Wars movies. Like, even rewatching Force Awakens, I'm like, well, none of this went anywhere, so it just basically means it's so fucking pointless.
We've entered a weird time.
And then there's so much that, there's a few more coming out. You've got like Top Gun, I haven't seen that yet. I don't even know if it's been out.
Top Gun, I mean, that
2, Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah, that looks, I mean, again, like, the trailers get you, but from the trailer, it looks amazing. Don't really know don't really know what the plot's gonna be.
Seeing it's the Top Gun of the 80s was like a one and done like action movie don't need a sequel. Like
Yeah.
that's how they used to be back in the day, you know.
Yeah.
Didn't need a Commando 2 or, you know, I know obviously Die Hard's a bit of an exception, but there's a lot you could do there.
Yeah.
But with like Top Gun, they kind of did the kind of fighter pilot evading war, World War Three kind of thing.
And that's kind of like, you know, fighter pilots are sort of not redundant, but like
Kind of done it.
Yeah, like
maybe
there's no.
There definitely
need
wasn't a
for them.
setup for a follow-up.
What's it gonna be like?
I mean, I love Top Gun. Like, it's like one of my favorite films.
I wonder what's gonna be the story.
Anyway, with the scales being tipped so much that we've been baited by nostalgia so much that honestly, I'm not really. So when the nostalgia sequel is announced these days, or from now on, I'm just gonna be like, well, just don't fucking do it.
Yeah.
I don't want to know.
Yeah, I think my brother said something like that, like not too recently, and was just like, fucking, just like, I don't care. He was like, I'm just not interested anymore. Just fucking start again.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Just start again. Like, stop trying to fucking like relive the past or like, you know, leech off of like the greatness that
because things like that, especially with this, I mean, luckily with Star Wars, they had the Mandalorian, which was so fucking good.
Yeah.
Like, that it's kind of like, and they have the animation as well. Like, let's not discount it. Like, but with the movies, you know, releasing in cinema, I'm just like, well, they've had a few that have been like cancelled. You know, like I think like a Rogue Squadron film and stuff like that.
Got cancelled.
Yeah, Patty Jenkins one. You know, director of Wonder Woman.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm just like, good, because honestly, like, I don't trust you with it.
Yeah.
So, and it's with this, you know, they've had a go at trying to make those glory days for the Matrix, and now people have seen it, and if you were to say, oh, we're going to make another Matrix, they'd be like, but why? The last one was just the worst.
Yeah.
It's like you literally have that one opportunity, you know, unfortunately, like the what do you call it? The anomaly to the rule is Star Wars, probably because it's just so fucking big, it can't fail. Too big to fail.
Yeah. There's so much like you can do.
But with the Matrix,
story-wise.
it's got such a huge universe. You can do anything.
Yeah.
But with the Matrix, it's like you fucked up the story. No one's gonna want to see another one.
Yeah. I'm just thinking. I mean.
And that happens. That's gonna happen with everything that they. You know, it's gonna happen with, I'd say, the majority of the stuff that they bring out. If it's from the 80s, 90s, or the noughties, and they're revitalizing it, look at Space Jam. It's just fucking wank. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just absolute trash.
Is it?
Oh yeah.
Really?
It's the like.
Is it woke?
Honestly, no. It's not even that. It's that Warner Brothers, man. When that logo comes up, it's gonna be a shit film.
Yeah.
How many times would you think that in the 80s, 90s, and the noughties? You wouldn't. You'd be like, I'm in for a good time. Warner Brothers know what they're doing.
Yeah.
But this time they're so, like, these days they're so obsessed with their own brand that they're like, they shoved Bugs Bunny and their own studio name into the Matrix for no reason. And
that was so off-putting, wasn't it?
With Space Jam, they shoved every IP that they could even think of, including A Clockwork Orange, which is just about psychopaths and murder and rape. And they were just like, smash it into Space Jam. I'm like, are you fucking...
that murder and rape is funny.
Are you fucking high as shit? Like, who wants to see the Droogs in Space Jam? No one. It's crazy. Like, they were just like, how many shots of, like, Game of Thrones dragons can we get in this basketball game? Are you fucking high? Like, what are you doing?
I haven't seen Space Jam 2.
It's crazy. It's so shit.
So, but, yeah, fuck.
But yeah, it's just like, I see that logo, and nowadays, from now on, because you've been burnt too many times, I'm just like, oh, it's a Warner Brothers film, and it's not Batman. Fuck it off. Then.
Yeah.
Like, turn it off.
Imagine Smith being like, in the first one, or in the sequels, just like, Warner Brothers wanted me to say, you know, it's inevitable or something. It's
Yeah,
just
oh my
like,
God.
no, don't mention Warner Brothers. It just like
It's so meta, and I think no film needs to be that meta.
stop being so self-aware and just like
Yeah.
weird and shit. Like, nah.
They're obsessed with it, and honestly, it's. Here's the thing: I don't know if it will damage their reputation so much that people won't go to the films, or like people won't
What
stream
franchises do they even have? I don't know.
them. They've got tons, like you've got like all the animation ones like Scooby Doo and shit.
Great.
I'm gonna have a look. Like, I'll see what Warner Brothers.
The fight scenes in The Matrix,
What in this film?
terrible. Like,
Oh, yeah, the fight between Agent Smith and Neo was like one of the most bang average fights I've ever seen. Also, a term coined by a friend of the show, Dave, and one of the other co-hosts, Harry, is Neo was doing this thing which is you can only really describe as the get away from me push, where he'd do that thing, you know,
Yeah.
where he's like that.
yeah.
Where he basically would just like thrust both of his arms towards.
I didn't mind the force push. I didn't mind it. It's like he's older and
Honestly.
he has to kind of. He had like new techniques and that was cool, but it was just like
It just
Neo waiting for Neo to like. Neo had lost his mojo and like.
yeah. Speaking of mojo, I'll tell you some franchises that Warner Brothers own. Most of these are actually in Space Jam. Starting with Mojo, Austin Powers is in it. I think there's a guy who's dressed as Austin Powers. Batman, I'm pretty sure Batman's in it. Dukes of Hazzard, Harry Potter, yeah, there's some Quidditch players and stuff in there. It owns Lord of the Rings via New Line now, since
really?
2008, yeah. You know, well, actually, see, that is the rights of the movies, because I think the rights for like the video games and stuff have been up for grabs, and Amazon are going to gobble them up. So, but yeah, it's just
Wow.
I'm surprised we didn't even see more. I'm surprised we didn't see
Yeah.
more IPs that Warner Brothers own, because God, you know, having the Matrix be self-referencing to stuff that happens in the real world, like having Warner Brothers Studio is like, why is this in the Matrix? Like,
Yeah.
the Matrix was its own thing, you know. I think we talked about this before, where we're like,
Excuse me.
we're like, why were they like, this train's like going to Tokyo, you know, like the Matrix.
Yeah, you'd never like. You'd never heard of like a city name. Had you in the Matrix?
Well, because
before?
the city in
Matrix
the
before.
Matrix is called like Mega City or something.
Right.
Plus, the Matrix was like its own self-contained thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Where it's like it had a look and it had a feel, and it was all just like one computer program.
Yeah.
You know, from the look of it being like green, from like all the architecture being like quite blocky and quite like Matrix code. You know, whereas this was just like, I know, and people say at the end of the Matrix Revolutions, you know, the Matrix changed, but it still is its own self-contained computer program
Yeah.
to keep people living a life and XYZ. And it really didn't feel like it was the real world, because that was the point. But this one is just like, yeah, they were just like, oh, why were they on a bullet train to Tokyo?
Yeah.
Why did you have to say the city name?
Yeah.
What was the point? They didn't come to anything. Could have just said we're on a fast train.
It didn't come to anything, did it? Really,
No.
like at the end, and like Smith, his story, like what was his story? Where did he go? How did they tie that up? What was the fucking point in his character? Like, what was he trying to achieve?
I believe
What was
like,
his goal?
I believe Smith was like, wasn't he like, as always, his fate was always tied to Neo,
Yeah.
but I don't remember how it was resolved. I'll have to have a look.
it wasn't resolved. He just disappeared, like after helping.
I feel like he was like, oh, because you've defeated the, oh god, I can't remember the guy's name. Not the architect. God.
basically the arc.
All right, it was Barney Stinson. Like, we just,
Yeah.
because honestly, having Neil Patrick Harris as an antagonist for your Matrix movie is so cringy and on the nose.
I got that he was in a Matrix movie. Maybe not as like the main antagonist, but like I can imagine him in a Matrix movie.
Oh man.
Like, but yeah, he's.
But yeah, Neil Patrick Harris is
Not
the
as
most.
the main bad guy.
Nah, he's the most out of place of all of the characters in my, even over
Yeah.
Bugs Bunny.
He strikes me more as like the Merovingian kind of character, you know? Like,
Yeah, but he brought a lot of like sarcastic millennial humor to the fucking.
yeah.
You know, again, a reason why I say it's not because he's been that character, but he brought so much Barney Stinson energy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, compare that to like Agent Smith, played by Hugo Weaving, the original, the only.
It was all just a bit of a joke, really, wasn't it? Like,
It's all just a bit
not a joke.
It was
like,
though.
As in, oh, this is a fucking joke. But like,
Yeah, but explaining it to people is also a bit of like. So this is something that I have been doing, is explaining the plot and explaining what happens to the best of my ability.
Yeah.
Which is not very good. Explaining the story to people who have seen 1, 2, and 3. Mm-hmm. But then they're like, "Oh, what happens in this new Matrix?"
basically,
I'm
the
like,
first 3 films are completely pointless.
that not even that. They've just like the first 3 films happened, and then they shat on them.
Yeah.
Like, and then they were just
no
like,
need for them.
and then they were like those stories that you thought were like interesting, deep, especially as like the first Matrix film, right, is seen as such an allegory for transgenderism that they then decided to shit on those films themselves, the creators of the original, you know, who actually made the story which was so dear to so many for different reasons. They're the ones who shat on it. Like, why? Why did you like? Why did you literally fuck the film that made you famous and made it so important to so many people by making it cheap, by making it a parody, by making it like
It was
nonsense.
a parody, wasn't it? Really,
It was.
one.
It's like a fucking shit SNL skit,
Yeah.
but it's an entire 2.5 hour film
Yeah.
about the old original Matrix movie.
Yeah.
That's probably the best way I'd be able to describe it to people.
Yeah. Yeah. What a shame.
And a lot
Didn't
of
need to be made. It shouldn't have been made. Like,
Nah.
it undermines so much about the original trilogy, and you know, like the beauty of it, and the tragedy of it, and you know, especially when like Trinity dies and that beautiful scene between Neo and Trinity, and it's just like cool, great seeing them back and stuff. But like, man,
You do say that, but one of the worst things, one of the most egregious things for me about the film was the fact that they had most of Trinity's scenes just be her in a coffee shop getting coffee.
she didn't really do much. Yeah.
That's so unfucking cool.
Yeah, she
You
did
know,
fuck all.
Although we've just had a conversation about being a nice little loner in a coffee shop, it's
Yeah.
actually quite comfortable.
Yeah.
The fact that it's, you know, one of the most badass women in the history of film is reduced to being a fucking,
Yeah.
being a MILF in a coffee shop.
Could they have not?
Kind of a bit of a fucking ruiner, isn't it?
Oh man, could they have not like thought of something cooler? I don't know, like where Neo and Trinity come together again because they're both trying to like they've been on they found a trail, you know, to the truth or whatever, and then they kind of bump into it. I don't know. There must have been something. They come together along the way of trying to get out of the Matrix again or something. I don't know, but yeah.
Honestly,
All in all,
the fact that they had her just, you know, questioning her own reality and why this guy's kind of coming up to her in this coffee shop the whole time, and that being her only arc up until like right at the end of the film,
yeah.
is kind of just tragic, if anything.
She's just not on it with her
It's just-
husband anymore.
It's just
Hates
not
her
on
kids.
it. Hates her non-alive computer generated kids.
Yeah, just hates him, right?
And then she's like, the thing with her character and her dialogue is that Neo just basically comes up to her in a coffee shop, and him being egged on by this computer program non-human person, who's your typical Hollywood look at a game designer, because he's just like he swears a lot and he uses like cool slang. She is like, oh, I recognize you. The game that you made, like my sons play it. And I'm just like, your sons played the original Matrix movie game?
Yeah.
What?
And it's a game, it's shot for shot of like. So
what's their favourite bit when we're shagging in the cave, or?
Yeah.
I mean,
do they not think like that's my mum? Like...
they're playing the scene where Neo is having sex with her in a cave, and they're like, Trinity looks like a mum.
Yeah. Do you control that? Like,
is it like a quick time event where you have to?
Do you have to press X? Do you have to button bash press? Like,
button bash. Do you have to button bash my mum? Like
button bash X button. Like,
that would be that was the bit where I'd be like,
press X to come.
I think I'm gonna turn off the games console. That just leads into how fucking stupid this the idea of
press X to come.
It's just so. Oh my god, they're trying to be so meta, because like games are like really popular, a lot popular than they were in 1999, but they're just like so fucking off the mark. It's unreal. Like, and it would have been, I think it would have been worse.
More popular than 1999.
Yeah, they're more popular than films now. Bigger industry than films. It's bigger than the film and the music industry combined.
They are like films, though, aren't they? Now games.
Oh yeah,
basically just films.
Well, there can be as much depth in a game, proven by certain games. Then because obviously they are like movies, a lot of them, but you get to play things, and they're obviously a lot longer. Like, I
was thinking about like what games I played in 1999. Fucking
Tomb Raider,
Phantom Menace.
Yes, mate, great game.
PS1.
That I actually recently rewatched a whole playthrough of.
It's just
for nostalgia,
joy to watch, mate. You stick that shit on at night.
Probably one of the first games I ever completed with a friend of mine, Sean Cornell, friend of the channel.
Nice.
So, friend of the podcast.
Shout out to Sean.
But
what a game.
Yeah. So they have come a long way. Whereas films, I feel like, are regressing.
Yeah, they are. Films are shit now, man.
I wouldn't go that far, but The Matrix 4 is fucking wank.
What's the last film that I saw that was good? Actually, I saw a Jake Gyllenhaal film recently.
Is it the one that's on Netflix?
Yeah.
Is it where he's like a responder for 911 or something?
Yeah. I like that. That was good.
See,
I love Jake Gyllenhaal, but like, I suppose blockbusters and I don't know. I miss.
See, I feel like dramas that get absolutely no recognition are still
good.
Are good.
Yeah.
But like blockbuster.
Stop watching fucking shit, man.
Blockbuster movies just don't. Well, they do exist, but because of streaming and stuff like that, they're not the same. It's not the same. Maybe Martin Scorsese and those wankers were right. Maybe Marvel has fucked the whole of cinema.
Is that what they said?
Paraphrasing a little bit.
Yeah. He sort of said,
I'm sure Martin Scorsese didn't go on record and say cinema's wank because
Marvel's ruined everything.
I think he probably put it as a great film director. I'm probably sure he put it in a little more nuance than I have.
Definitely feels like Marvel is like the main kind of force out there,
I know.
Everything is sort of under its fucking wing.
Well, I saw recently that the Oscars are thinking about putting a most popular film category at the Oscars, starting this year, maybe.
Really?
And then, the meme that I saw underneath that announcement was, that picture of that guy like looking around the corner, just like rubbing his hands together, and it's like Marvel every year from now on. You know, they're ready to collect them awards. But honestly, with the current slate of Marvel films, as some people might have heard from certain reviews, honestly, they're like quite bad. And
Yeah.
you know, I don't know if that is me being out of touch, especially seeing as I started watching the MCU when I was 18.
I don't think so, man. I think they were better
Yeah.
before. I think they've just got really lazy.
Well, actually, to be fair, I don't really think that Iron Man 2 or Thor Dark World
That's true.
are actually any better than Shang-Chi.
I haven't seen
They're all
Shang-Chi.
just
Can't
pretty
be
bad.
fucked to see it.
No, don't do it. Honestly, the only good thing about Shang-Chi is Shang-Chi
Yeah.
himself. The story, the characters, the rest of the characters, honestly, like, yeah, best to not bother. But the actual character of Shang-Chi, interesting enough that I want to see him interact with other Avengers or
Yeah.
other superheroes.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of glad he's in the universe. It's unfortunate that his entry was just so bad.
I wonder how long this is all going to go on for.
I feel like the bubble's going to have to burst at some point.
Have they got another 10 years?
I really think that because of Spider-Man No Way Home's reaction, like audience reaction, I feel like they do. But in terms of content,
10 years is going to go like that.
in terms of like the actual movies, let's forget the Plus series for now, because some of them have been good, better than others. I don't think there's been any that have been really shit. I just feel like they could have been better. I like Loki.
Loki's my favourite.
So, you know, I feel like with the series, they've probably got a little bit more mileage. But with the actual movies, they're going to have to pull it out of their ass.
Yeah.
Like, I want there to be, like, a great Fantastic Four film. And then if they can somehow pull off bringing the X-Men into it, I'm intrigued to see what they do. But it's how many of these are going to be...
It's just too many.
How many of these are going to be misses rather than hits for it to continue?
There's too many. That's the problem. Like, it's not enough. They're not epic enough. It's like it's a really expensive TV series.
We were saying before that now I've lost it.
Don't worry, I've lost it.
No,
We were talking about some film.
we're talking about
Matrix.
we're talking about the. Yeah, I've definitely lost it.
We were talking about Shang-Chi.
No, we were talking about how epic the Spider-Man original films were compared to No Way Home.
Yeah, they felt like movies.
Yeah, they're like so cinematic and like. I feel like they're just like the action
and the set pieces
had so much emotion behind them because of the characters and the story, whereas, especially in the first 2/3 of No Way Home, we agreed that there isn't really much of that.
No, boring as fuck.
No, nowhere near as close.
So boring. No Way Home, cool. Yeah, great. Where's Andrew Garfield and where's Tobey Maguire? Because I don't give a shit about all this nonsense and like
Everything
Tom
else.
Holland trying to like spit out your lines, mate. I love you, but like, dude, it's not even his fault.
No,
It's not even him. It's just shitty direction and shit dialogue. It's like, God, man.
Yeah, I mean, especially on multiple reflection, I was a little bit like, everyone who's here for a second time, which was quite a lot, or third time, in the cinema, saw it 3 times. So
You did.
yeah,
Nice.
but everyone who's not here for the first time is here for that last 30 minutes.
Yeah.
They're not here for any of the shit
No.
before. Not the Three's Company in the fucking flat where they're like bantering off each other. These are like the most dastardly villains in the fucking comics, and they're all just having a powwow in a fucking flat. And honestly, it's the cringiest. Like, I've said this word
Yeah.
for this podcast a record amount of time. I mean, that's probably going to be on a t-shirt Coming
Hey,
soon
it's not your
to
fault, mate.
coming soon to shop2reels.com.
Yeah.
Honestly, get your cringe t-shirt.
Yeah.
Because
Cringe.
honestly, those bits in Spider-Man No Way Home where the villains are bantering off each other
Oh.
after they escape from their cells, you know, where they go to the flat,
Yeah.
you know, Happy's kind of uh, wank pad. They're literally just like, oh, it's
I want Happy to
no.
die.
I mean,
How about that?
I mean, I feel like everyone
die.
Happy Hogan. Look, John Favreau, mate. Thanks for the start of. I mean, guy's a legend for starting
John
the MCU.
Favreau. Yeah, I love John Favreau.
Love him for continuing, you know, Star Wars the best way possible with the Mandalorian. But honestly, like Happy Hogan, just leave him in 2010.
Yeah.
Just
Leave him in Iron Man 2 universe, yeah? And when Aunt May died, I was glad.
controversial.
Like, when she finally died, I thought, cool, that's one less character that I don't care about gone.
Yeah.
You know, she was just so annoying. But, like...
I don't know. Like, I don't think she was annoying. I do feel like in No Way Home, right? She was so adamant that Peter not send them back to their universe. I know, like, she was like, oh, but it's sending them back to die. It's like, they're not from here and they're going to kill people in this universe if I don't send them back.
Yeah.
And one of them was her. And it's just like, Peter was proven right by her dying.
Yeah. Yeah. Well done, Aunt May. Thanks
Yeah.
for the advice.
Well done.
Now you're dead.
Yep, saved them.
Yeah.
But did he? Like, because they go back without their powers and they probably die anyway.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, girl. Come on.
Come on, what?
Come on.
Like, Tobey Maguire, he gets stabbed.
Honestly,
like, through the gut.
How does he survive
And he
that?
just, like, shrugs it off.
Yeah.
Man.
But there's... yeah.
We've kind of gone way off subject here, but in short,
It's not...
Matrix Resurrections is a no. It's a no from me. I'm out.
I mean, we were thinking about, like... even I was just like, yeah, we'll go through the plot and we'll break it down. And this is what we do for the cinema releases. This is what we do.
Yeah.
Even for films that I don't like Shang-Chi and Eternals, which is fucking shit.
Really, you hate
it's
Eternals?
honestly
Yeah.
probably the one.
I haven't seen it.
It goes so, you know, not to spoil the rating coming up, but like not to spoil the rating much. But
I don't care.
it was so bad that
Yeah.
only Matrix, because of how disappointing it was, how much it just like shat on the legacy of the other movies. That's the only way that there was a worse movie, you know, Matrix being worse than the Eternals. And yeah, it's just even with those movies, I'm happy to just describe the film, churn out the plot.
Yeah.
We're doing a podcast.
Yeah.
Be informative,
Yeah.
insightful.
Yeah.
With the Matrix Resurrections, I don't think I could do it. We started, and I don't even want to read the Wikipedia. Like I've got the blurb up, I've got like the plot up, and I would honestly just, if you want to see the biggest train wreck in cinema history since, I don't know,
Since the
the turn of the millennium,
since Rise of Snake.
just watch it for the sheer pain.
Yeah.
If you're that much of a masochist.
Yeah. I wonder if they'll ever do a new Matrix movie.
They will. That I feel like
Eventually, someone will come up with a cool ass concept. I'm hoping.
someone will pay Warner Brothers or Lana Wachowski enough money for them to relinquish rights. It'll be like Terminator.
They'll do prequels.
Terminator is like a film that the rights for it at the moment is bouncing around so many different studios. Hence why like every bit of it is so incoherent since Terminator 2. Because like the rights were like bought for Terminator for something like ridiculously low, like $1 million. Like before Genesis or before Salvation. Like some random company that isn't even, I don't even think they make movies, bought the rights for Terminator for $1 million.
Right.
I feel like in 20 years, the same situation will happen, not just to The Matrix, but to other things that people really like.
Yeah.
Stuff that hasn't been fucked in the ass, like this franchise.
Yeah.
And it's going to be, like, the worst. And cinema's just going to be, like, fucked. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know that...
And on that note, we're gonna...
You know the situation that people think, like, that think cinema is like, fucked now because... you know, COVID, and then like, oh, will people go back to the cinema? That's not the problem. People will always want to go to the cinema for good movies.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
When people are given shit, they're not going to put it in a bit of bread and be like, a shit sandwich. They're going to be like, holy shit, this shit is shit.
Yeah.
And this movie...
This tastes like shit.
And this movie is shit. Not to get too expletive, but I mean,
go and see it.
Yeah, no, don't do
Go
that.
and see it.
No, if you wanna self harm without having to, well, actually, I'm not gonna cut that bit. If literally just if
no, it's worth a watch. Go and watch it. Like, it's worth one watch.
It's worth one watch because
just to find out, like,
I mean, there's that graph, isn't it, where it's like you've got really good entertainment on one end and you've got really terrible content at the other end. Where it gets boring is like when it's so mediocre, but you're watching this like you would go watch a great film because it's equally bad. Do you know what I mean? Like, you've got a good film.
Confused.
You've got like a really good film, so a lot of people see it because it's a good film.
Yeah.
But then you've got a film that's so bad, a lot of people see it just to see how bad. They're interested.
Yeah. When I say, is it worth a watch?
No, don't.
No, it's not worth a watch. Actually.
Why did you just say that?
I don't know why.
I had to sit here and listen to you say that.
I like that you
No.
went with me on that one, and you tried to justify the bullshit that was coming out.
Just
don't go and see it. Don't bother. Just watch the trilogy and leave it there, because it has the beginning, middle, and an end, and that's it. That's all you need. You don't need Matrix 4 because it undoes everything from the original trilogy. No point. Don't need it. You know, but Lana Wachowski said it herself. It was just really to bring back Neo and Trinity for the nostalgia, but
I mean, that's not a good enough
sometimes
reason.
just leave it.
That's not a good enough reason. Right. Okay.
Right. Yeah. Come on.
Let's get to what we do for every film.
Mm-hmm.
Without a doubt. And giving it a rating out of 5 something.
Okay.
You can't give it a 0.
Okay.
But what are we going to rate it out of?
What are we going to rate it out of? I mean...
So, I'm going to say...
Just 5.
No. I mean, with the theme of the podcast. So, like, for the book of Boba...
5 blue pills.
Yeah, so, you know, like something to do with...
Yeah.
So, for the book of Boba Fett, we basically did it out of 5... randomly inserted fucking Vespa gangs from the 60s. You know, like something fucking shit. So, you know, we could do it out of 5 blue pills, or we could do it out of you know, you could do it out of 5 no sock wearing Agent Smith wannabes.
5 fucking orange suits.
5 overly confident and sexual Morpheuses. I don't know. Yeah. So what are we gonna do out of 5? Out of 5
Brogues.
Out of 5 unnecessary Warner Brothers references. Well, I already know what I'm gonna give it.
I'm giving it a 1.
Right.
It's getting a 1, mate.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Straight up. Sorry. Look.
No. Well, why are you saying sorry? Like, it's the worst movie I've seen in about 20 years.
Sorry.
I think The Room is a more entertaining film than The Matrix 4.
Yeah. Yeah. It's getting a 1, mate. It's, you know, I'm sorry.
You can give it 0.5, by the way.
0.5.
Yeah.
I'll give it a 1.
We're giving it out of increments.
No,
of
I'll give
0.5.
it a 1.
Okay.
I'll give it a 1 because it's still someone's creation and someone's like piece of art. But
honestly, like, I don't think the cinematography is the worst. I think it's all right.
yeah, there's some.
It
Cool shots.
doesn't feel quite like a Matrix film, which I was saying from the trailers, but it's still got some good cinematography at points, and you know, it's got something to live up to in having a name like the Matrix, which it doesn't. But it also, you know, like you said, it's someone's creation, and like some of it is, you know, visually really good.
For sure.
But absolutely none of the story and none of the acting really lives up to it.
No.
Even Keanu, who is pretty much fantastic in anything he's in.
Yeah.
And Carrie-Anne Moss is, you know...
Their chemistry is still very much there and
It's still-
alive.
yeah.
And that for me was like, forget everything else. Like,
It's a shame that was in the centre, but nothing outside of that was anywhere near what you'd expect.
no. But chemistry-wise, like, Keanu and Carrie-Anne Moss, like, it was beautiful to watch for a 4th time after all this time. Really touching. Like, you know, I think
It does get you.
It did move me. Like, I think a few times, and
That's what they were banking on.
yeah,
But they did have something.
yeah,
But they just didn't plan
Yeah.
out anything else.
yeah. Like, yeah. Thank God for those guys. That was really powerful stuff. You know, when they're together, really cool at the end. You know, like Trinity is sort of has the powers of the One and stuff like that, and they fly off in the sunset, and then you get kind of some weird cover of Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah, some weird, terrible, you know, rap.
But you know, time to let it
Time to move on.
put it to bed, I suppose.
Yeah.
You know, but
Again, I can't remember where I read this article that I've talked about before, but it was an article that was just basically like, it's okay for you to let your favorite franchises die.
Yeah.
Like, to move on.
Yeah.
The only thing with that I think they say in the article, or this is just my opinion, it's just like, yeah, but they're not trying to replace it with anything. They're not bringing you anything else that's fresh. It's like, it's all right to say, oh yeah, let's let the Matrix die, let, you know, nostalgia baiting film series die, but then there's not much else going on.
yeah,
So, you know, it's hard. That's
it
why it's
doesn't need
hard.
to die. It just needs to be fresh.
Yeah,
Just needs to be like, just do something else. Just do something new, you know, original. Don't worry so much about trying to please people or whatever. But yeah, anyway,
you're giving it a 1, and I give it a 0.5.
it's quite fucking depressing. You know, sorry.
Honestly, if you've seen The Matrix Resurrections and you're listening to this podcast, I'm pretty sure you knew exactly how this was going to go.
Yeah,
This is not a shock.
especially after a few drinks.
Yeah.
You know.
So yeah, I can only really give it a 0.5 because, honestly, mate, The Matrix, game over.